kaput at this stage. There really is no possibility of them making any further progress in this tournament. I was just thinking towards the end of that game, even though it was a 3-1 game, that it was rather flat as far as atmosphere was concerned. The Senegalese played their part, but there was a small number of them there. But for the home fans not to come out in force to support their team, it has probably cost them, because even for the penalty appeal in the first half, it might have made a bit of a difference.
Yeah, a bit of pressure on the ref even at 2-1, and they were playing really well in that second half, in fairness to them. They created a lot more than Senegal didn't take their chances when they got them. But at 2-1, you know, a crowd behind them, some noise, some support, it just wasn't there. And it's just, you know, it's the country it's in, it's their home team, it's not a footballing country, they don't have a big traditional footballing league or fan base. You know, the game before it, the Welsh game, there was a fabulous atmosphere in that game. In fairness, I think it's one of the best I've seen so far. But in this game now, empty stand pretty much near the end of the game. Hard for that team, you know, everything is against them, Qatar. They don't have the players. They played well. They needed an extra 12th man, a fan, a support. Like, can you imagine Ireland in the Euros or any small country in the Euros?
It does make a difference to players, though.
Definitely helps.
You can see on the faces of the fans, like even after the first Qatari goal, I mean, they're applauding, they're kind of happy, but it's not really in them. It doesn't get inside their bones, really, in terms of the game itself, the kind of passion. You don't see those extremes in terms of their behaviour. But I was pleased for the Qatari team. I'd have to say, I thought they showed a good reaction after Senegal got the second goal. And it was a really kind of spirited performance after that. Showed a little bit of personality, and, as like Kevin said, created a number of chances. And I think they certainly deserved their first goal of the competition. OK, well, let's have a look at the goal that made it 2-0 to Senegal. It came from a set piece. Surely could have been defended better, though. Yeah, all the goals could be defended better, particularly set pieces. I don't think it's the greatest in-swinging ball in the box, to be honest. I think he slightly under-hits it, but it's a really sweet finish. Now, this is a man marking. This is 4v4, and the key man is Pedro. He's actually marking the goal scorer, Dehue, and you can see he doesn't get too close to him. He gives himself a couple of yards, but the problem with that is he has too much ground to make up. Like I said, the cross into the box for me is a little bit straight, and he just doesn't react quickly enough. The end's on the move, gets across the near post man. It's a great finish. You know, we were talking about off air, we don't mind the fact he's not touch tight holding on to him. Yeah. You know, there's pros and cons to that. If he's touch tight and you get a run on him, you lose him, you're behind him. I don't mind him standing a couple of yards off. So like I used to mark from corners, you said you used to mark from corners. You can be watching him, you can be sort of watching the ball, but you have to get in front of him then. You can't let him. Once you're there like that, you have to be the one to get in front of him. The ball is sort of killed him. The ball is not, it's not, I don't think, what the corner kick taker intended. Yeah. He expected more of an in-swinger. It's ended up in a straight kick with his left foot, and it's sort of taken the defender out of it. He's maybe been a little bit unlucky, but you can't. If you're not marking touch tight, you have to be the one to get there first. Yeah, by the time that ball arrives, and I said, you've got to be in contact with him. If you're not actually winning the head, you've got to be physically imposing yourself and making it as difficult as possible. OK, well then Qatar were given a glimmer of hope, but they had started playing well at this point, Kevin. They had created plenty before this point. You were hoping. I think everyone neutral watching, you want them to score a goal. Yeah. Really good ball out to Mohamed, good touch. You know, can he find the ball? And it's a fabulous cross in. It was Montari. He'd only been on the pitch maybe a minute or two. I think it was his first touch of the game. And that's what you want. Get on the sub, make an impact, go on and score a goal. And when he does head, I think it's Koulibaly. Koulibaly's looking around. He knows he's there. He doesn't think, I think the ball's going to make it to him. And even then, there's a lot to the header. Gets above Koulibaly. Great leap, direction, power, everything you want on the header. And at that stage, fabulous into the corner, keeping at that stage 2-1, and he's trying to get there. He's trying to get the crowd. We're all trying to get the crowd going. You know, that's stage 2-1, and you think they're on top. You know, and they have a chance of getting something out of this game out of, you know, been 2-0 down, you think it's all over. Never over at 2-0. They get, in fairness to them, they showed a bit of spirit, got back into it. Yeah, but then they got the insurance goal, Senegal, through Dieng. Yeah, just a flavour for Leeds United supporters. Potentially of what might have been. This lad is heavily linked to Leeds. Looked as if he was on a plane to Leeds, but kind of diverted the pilot to Nice, I think it was, only to fail a medical there. Yeah, this is a tidy enough finish. Doesn't do an awful lot here. I think he realises where the pocket of space is. Just kind of checks his run. Goalkeeper again for me. Barsham doesn't do great here to me. That ball goes roughly down the centre of the goal. Past him, a bit flaky goalkeeping again. But yeah, just re-established that 2-goal lead. You felt really that was it then. Game was done and dusted. As far as the overall situation in the group is concerned, though, Kenny, that Senegalese performance didn't really inspire to suggest that they're guaranteed that second place, because Ecuador are now in the running, aren't they? Yeah, absolutely not. It'd be interesting how Ecuador fared against the Dutch. People are presuming, you know, the Dutch will take care of business, then it'll come to a kind of straight shootout playing Senegal and Ecuador. I'm not too sure though. Like I said, I was impressed with that Ecuador performance.
Yeah.
And
they looked more comfortable against Qatar, didn't they?
Yeah, I think you're right. So yeah, if the Dutch anyway in terms of their attitude, a little bit of a drop off in terms of their application, I think Ecuador are good enough to maybe take something from that game.
Yeah, okay. Well, still more to review from that Qatari-Senegal game, and proof that they did do well in the second half was with the number of chances they created, Kevin, but unfortunately they didn't finish them.
Abdel Karim there involved in a few to begin with. This one drops to him and he hits it against his own man. This was all before they scored as well. They were really coming into the game. Great strike here again, Abdel Karim. It's the keeper struggling. This one was Anouil's turn the shot. It was a great save from Mendy. Another good ball into the back stick. And this Cookie, or Ishmael here, getting on the end of it, should do better. He sort of half goes to head it, half goes to kick it. Great save from Mendy again. 2 fabulous saves in a row from Mendy.
Yeah.
And finally it was Cookie in around the back stick. Again, just needs to hit the target with it, or hit it across the defender or something. He doesn't manage to beat the first man. But really good stuff from Qatar. Senegal at that stage were on the back foot, weren't creating that, and you look at them, you see them they look solid defensively against the Dutch, and you think, so they're not going to give away much chance tonight. The worry you would have for them was scoring goals, but tonight it was the opposite. They looked really weak defensively.
What a save that was from Mendy.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see a better save than that in the whole tournament. That was absolutely phenomenal.
Well, we saw from a few of those chances that they have a very good goalkeeper, and we know that. Who has his moments too, Mendy. But at the other end, Meshel Barsham, who, by the way, his younger brother is an Olympic champion. In what sport do you think it might be, Kenny?
Well, not diving.
No,
no, he'll be diving.
No, I'll tell you, the high jump. And he could be for the high jump after this performance, because he was flapping at a lot. He
yeah,
looked
had
a bit
of
suspect,
sympathy for him. Look, Sheeb was dropped after the first game, so a bit of pressure on his shoulders. Didn't start too well, a bit of a nervous start. Flapping a little bit, thought he could have caught that one. So important, particularly the smaller nations. If you had a good, solid, strong goalkeeper behind you, it really helps. You got lucky here for me. He was heading back as the last minute, decided to dart out, got lucky. Here again, small things like this really spread nervousness amongst the team. Had to take a double take when we saw this. Trying to drag it back initially, wasn't he? He got himself all tangled up. Even looking at him there, Kevin, I mean, he looks really young. I mean, Shay Given does be sat on the sofa here with us, and you'd know Shay was a goalkeeper. Yeah. He's got that big fat head in him. He's got his he's got shovel hands. He looks like an ex-goalkeeper.
Shay, apologies if you're watching.
Yeah, but that he looked like a kid, didn't he? Just like he's been getting the gloves.
Yeah, he's played. He's been number 2 for like the last few years, and he probably thought, I'm not going to play this World Cup, and all of a sudden he's thrown in the keeper on the first day. Sheeb didn't have a good day, and he's just supposed to said, we'll just see what he can do. So. Yeah, he looked very nervous.
Bless him. Yeah.
They could be in real trouble finishing up against the Netherlands, couldn't they, though?
Yeah, no, I don't expect them to get anything from the game. I think that this is best what they can hope for. That period that they have, hopefully give them a little bit of belief going into the game. But, yeah, no chance. I mean, the Dutch are notorious in terms of, lacking a bit of attitude and application at times. But, no, I can't see anything but a convincing Dutch win.
Yeah, and speaking of the Dutch, they're up next against Ecuador, and it's a fairly important fixture now when you see that Senegal seem a little bit off the boil, and this is opening a door for Ecuador to make it.
Definitely interesting to see Ecuador tonight now, because we were impressed with them against Qatar, and then you'd trying to judge it. Qatar really poor, Ecuador good. You think they got to 2-0 and you think they might go on and convincingly win the game, and they left it at 2-0. That could cost them as well on goal difference. So we'll really get a handle on where they are after this game tonight, and the Dutch as well, to be honest with you. I think we know where Senegal are. I think we know where Qatar are. It's now Senegal hoping that Ecuador don't get a win tonight. Yeah,
I mean, they were very impressive in the first half against Qatar, but they did take the foot off the gas in that second half, Kenny, didn't they?
Yeah, hopefully you don't come to regret it in terms of the goal aggregate at the end of the group stage. You just feel as if it's all going to arrive at that final game between Senegal and Ecuador, probably winner takes all. And I think both teams at the moment would probably settle for that. You know, your destiny is very much in your own hands going into the last game in the group.